And different approaches to handling U.S. trade-related issues have also risen as crucial selling points for South Korea's present runners. Should South Korea take things slow or speed things up when it comes to U.S. tariff matters? Let's turn to Professor Kim Yong-jin. Welcome back, Professor Kim.
Good morning.
So the Democratic Party's Jae-myung, he argues we should take enough time, and the People Power Party Kim Moon-soo believing a South Korea-U.S. summit is necessary right after the election. Now, first off, why might taking things slowly be a better idea here?
Well, before answering the question, we need to consider the goals Mr. Trump wants to achieve through the tariff policy, which is, done based on three basic laws. Trade Act, and then Trade Expansion Act, and then International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Mr. Trump says tariff will encourage U.S. consumers to buy more American-made goods, increase the amount of the tax raised, lead to the huge levels of investment. Mm-hmm. He also argues that America has been taken advantage of by cheaters and pillaged by foreigners. Yeah. His statement indicates that by using the tariff policy, he wants to resolve the issues, regarding the trade and fiscal deficit and to boost up the manufacturing industry in the U.S. He also wants to achieve other goals like, blocking illegal immigrant and illegal drugs from reaching the U.S. That's based on the IEEPA. However, due to the reasonable nature of his tariff policy, no country has completed the negotiation with the U.S. yet, although the U.S. picked up a group of prepared nations, 5 nations, right, including Japan and Korea. The negotiation with China is still going on. So I believe it is much better for Korean government to wait for the result of the negotiation between the U.S. and China, which is the key target of the U.S. in the trade negotiation. If we see the result of two nations, we'll clearly understand the purpose, target, and the method Mr. Trump wants to achieve through the tariff policy. Then we can proceed with the negotiations with the U.S., leveraging the U.S.-China and negotiation result.
So taking the much-needed time will be no harm to South Korea for now. Then how might a South Korea-U.S. summit right after the June election work better here?
Well, I don't think the newly elected Korean president has to meet the U.S. President Donald Trump right after the election because he won't be prepared for the trade negotiation. Even in the past, when the presidential election was done in a regular and normal process, the president-elect did not meet the U.S. president during the transition period. And furthermore, this presidential election is quite abnormal. Because it is caused by martial law declaration and the subsequent impeachment of the former President Yoon. It is very short. It won't give a period for a transition committee where the president-elect will set up his national agenda to pursue in his term. Even though the president's candidate may study for their, TV debate, the problems caused by Mr. Trump's tariff policy, it won't be enough for them to understand the very nature and impact of Korean economy, impact on the Korean economy and other issues. So moreover, Mr. Trump, look very unpredictable, right?
Yeah, really.
Which will give the president-elect of Korea a hard time to be prepared, however. It is manifesting that the Korean president has to meet with Mr. Trump directly talk, sooner or later after he, would be in.
Well, Professor Kim, let's talk about the talks actually going on over in D.C. Now, some experts expect the talks at this time will see a little progress and also be another round of Team Korea exploring the Trump administration's demands and wants. Do you also believe so?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I believe the upcoming talk won't see much progress. Just simply think about a situation where there's no decision maker for the country. There won't be no big deal between the counterpart, which may be required to move forward. The meetings of delegates from two countries will be very technical, as they say. I mean, they may set up some schedules for the next meeting, setting up the agenda and the processes that will follow in the next meeting. No big move, but, they will get, a lot of information each other.
Well, are you saying that finding out Washington's wants and needs will be Seoul's number one task this time?
Exactly. So it is critical, for a Korean delegation to understand and know what the real goals of the U.S. to achieve this time. They have to figure out them to report to the next president of Korea, so that the next, Korean government will be able to proceed with the negotiation. And one more thing they have to do at this time is to figure out how the negotiations with China, with Japan are, going on, and what are the goals of the U.S. government want to achieve in the talks with China and Japan, and how to achieve the goals in the negotiation. This information will help the next Korean government in the upcoming trade negotiation.
All right, Professor Kim, thank you so much as always for joining us in the morning. You have a wonderful day.
Happy to be here. Thank you.